Our final guest this evening is a poet, artist, and educator whose work proudly celebrates Chicago's queer and trans communities. Their writing has appeared many places, including In These Times, The Offing, and Them, the first trans literary journal in the United States. They are the author of The Plural, The Blurring, and editor of Subject to Change, Trans Poetry and Conversation. Lambda Literary awarded them the Judith A. Markowitz Award for Emerging LGBTQ Writers in 2017. They've also been named to New City's Lit 50 list, as well as Windy City Times 30 Under 30. They co-lead Queeriosity at Young Chicago Authors and work at Women and Children First, Chicago's feminist bookstore just down the street. You should go there if you haven't been. Please welcome H. Melt.
Hey everyone. My name is H. Melt. I'm a poet based here in Chicago, and it's my second time reading at Tuesday Funk. Just a few weeks ago, I came out with my second book, Subject to Change, which looks like this. It's an anthology of trans poetry that I edited, featuring 5 different trans poets from across the country. Tonight I'm going to read a couple new poems of my own work. This is There Are Trans People Here after Jamal May. There are trans people here. So many trans people here is what I'm trying to say. When they say we are all trapped in the wrong body, imposter, impossible, no. We are on the bus next to you, in the cubicle next to you, in the checkout line next to you. Some of us are sex workers, teachers, artists, nurses, homeless, unemployed, and hungry too. We are as real and complicated as anyone else. But they won't stop murdering, stop legislating, stop imprisoning, stop claiming we are ruining our countries, families, friendships, and futures too, when every day we awaken to build them anew. So I'm going to read a couple of poems that also took place here in this neighborhood. This is called Ode to the Gay Sex Shop. Man's country is closing. The bijou already shut. Where will gay men go for anonymous sex in Chicago? I go to full kit gear, my trans flag and pronoun buttons proudly displayed. When they grab the nipple clamps from behind the counter, it's she. When I leave, it's thanks guys, even though I'm alone. I could have gone to the feminist sex shop where the owner has pink hair and a trans kid, but their products aren't as cute. I feel home at both places. Home meaning misrecognition. So it's true, Man's Country is really closing. Their last party is on New Year's Eve. And, I'm not really a fan of gay male spaces, but sexual culture in this neighborhood, queer culture has been gentrified out of this space. And instead of, preserving the history or transforming it into a modern day queer space that's more inclusive, it's gonna be torn down and turned into condos, like most things in the neighborhood. And they're gonna name it after Chuck Renslow, who is the founder and owner, he's passed away now just very recently, of Man's Country, the gay bathhouse. He also founded the Leather Archives and Museum in Rogers Park. He's like Chicago's leather daddy. So they're gonna name the condo building after him, which is just so wrong. This next poem is called Faggot with Flowers. In the summertime, I walk to the farmer's market on my lunch break from work. Most of the vendors are queer, selling tomatoes and peaches, empanadas, cider, and curds. I spy brain flowers, which my mom occasionally bought, though she favored gladiolas. I debate whether or not to buy flowers. They're not food, a bit of a luxury. As I walk back to work, proudly holding my coxcombs, a gray pickup truck blows a stop sign, presses the gas in my path. He cracks the window to yell faggot at me, missing my body. I go home and place my flowers in water on the kitchen table, trying to forget what will die in a few days' time. All right, this is On My Way to Liberation, and it's for my grandpa, Pahavi. I'm on the train wearing a pink shirt and floral tie, on the way to celebrate my grandfather's liberation from Dachau. When the Nazis came for his family in Kovno, Lithuania, my grandfather dressed like a girl to stay close to his mother and sisters. When he immigrated to the United States, he changed his name from Mickelson to Melton. I've changed my name and my clothes too, on my way to liberation. How am I doing on time? One or two more? Cool. I'm gonna maybe read a new poem if that's okay. Like really new, like last week, a few days ago new. It was inspired by this article that I saw on the internet, as many things, which had a statistic about trans people, which I will share with you in one moment. This is called Trans People Don't Want to Be Your Friend. 25% of Americans don't want to be friends with a trans person. 100% of trans people don't want to be your friend. We're not here for your comfort, your panels, or tokenization. We are here for making cis jokes, finding each other jobs, teaching your children how to embrace their full selves. Less than 20% of cis people are open to dating our sexy selves. I don't want to date 99.9% of cis people. I don't need any new friends. All I want is a love that doesn't end up in a headline, where we are never granted the final word. Okay, I'm gonna end with this poem that is after A piece by one of my really good friends, Jamila Woods. Most people know her as a musician or singer, but she actually is also a poet. Not that the two things are separate. But she has this great poem called Black Girl Art that's after a really famous Mary Baraka poem. And so I'm kind of continuing the lineage. This is called Translit is Bullshit. Translit is bullshit unless it is written by trans people. Unless it is written for trans people. I want translit that breaks linear narrative. I want translit to bash back against the police. I want translit to take up an entire bookshelf in the library. I want translit in every classroom, in every backpack, in every pair of hands on a long commute. I want translit not to be a federal crime. I want translit in prisons to set my brothers, sisters, and siblings free. Thank you.